Alright, so, well, I'm actually pleased to see that Insidious Gaming as the blue team this time is starting down south, so we might see different strategies today.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so. Whereas, you know, Insidious Gaming going with the exact same lineup as the previous set, whereas the Efficiency is changing it up just a slight bit, switching out one of their IS-3s for an AMX 13, so a little bit more mobility, and that's telling me is that they're going to go for that eastern edge of the map, just due to the high mobility of the AMX 13.
Or at least send that 1390 out there.
Yep, exactly. So already, yes, we do see Insidious Gaming coming here into the city as expected. Now it's up to Team Efficiency. If Efficiency is going to go for the city area as well as, you know, Insidious Gaming, then we're probably going to see, you know, some long-range engagements, you know, just who can land the more shots there. But now you're getting a look at the Efficiency side, and yes, they have all moved out to the eastern side of the map.
Did you see Death, guys, as he progressed like through the city? He fired a blind shot diagonally.
Did it actually land?
No, it didn't. But I thought it was a pretty good bet, though, because if somebody's racing, say, towards in the city edge area, that shot just might have connected.
Yeah, quite possibly so. I mean, we have seen blind shots landed by both, like, Efficiency and Insidious Gaming here. So they're really good at predicting enemies' movements. But they have moved into the city, and they're gonna just secure this plaza area, like you mentioned, Philip. That's pretty much what they always do. It's just very standard, very secured. And once you have control of this kind of inner semicircle, then anywhere on the map, you have a slight kind of highway going there.
Well, yeah, it gives you really just a lot of leeway, exactly, both to attack and defend your own base as well. So, and besides, you still have covers. Well, mind you, there are loopholes to the strategy, otherwise everybody would do it. Obviously, you can't just simply relinquish the city edge and the field area, and usually when you're that concentrated up to the west, you have a hard time spreading out and creating flanking opportunities, especially when you just switch to offense. But nevertheless, needless to say, as a defensive mode, it's like probably one of the finest there is like on this map.
Yeah, no, with reactive strategies, this positioning, I have to say, is probably the best on the map.
Oh, it's optimal, yeah.
Yeah, whereas, you know, for like aggressive strategies, for more balanced strategy, it may not be the best, but it's still not bad. And I think that's why these guys are just securing this area, is because almost no other team goes for this area, so it's almost always guaranteed that they'll be able to secure this.
Yeah, I'm really liking the efficiency spread, but at the same time, I'm not surprised to find out that they're being pretty passive about this. They have of course, they now know that all ISG members are locked within the city.
Yep.
But I don't reckon that Team Efficiency is going to take any unnecessaries either and try to charge in like within the city limits pretty much, because they don't really know where the ISG members are positioned. I mean, it's a safe bet to assume they're towards the plaza area, obviously. Which means that, like, if you look at the, I mean, you can't see it on the screen right now, but the ISG tanks, every single heavy tank is actually just guarding every single road that leads to that center plaza.
Yeah, with the lead like in the middle, just able to
land shots anywhere. Exactly. And all 5 tanks have decent cover. Elite is actually hiding behind that fountain within the plaza. So basically, they get vision on every single road that leads to that plaza area. So basically, whoever tries on the efficiency side to go within the city will get immediately spotted.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Insidious Gaming actually moving out here, pushing up to the northern edge, because I believe it is Nisa up there in that T1 clearing out the northern part of the city, so it's going to allow Insidious Gaming to move out. But they have been spotted by Tanaka. So now Tanaka at least knows Death Guys is over here, and it might actually signal a retreat from the Efficiency forces.
Well, not necessarily a retreat, but I think all Efficiency has to do is to position themselves within the city edge, undercover as well, for that, because you know what, it's still a pretty solid defensive setup for any northern push attempt, so to speak. So I don't really see ISG recklessly pushing up north either. At this point, they're just gonna wait and play the waiting game again, and just slowly try to spread out like they did on Ansk, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, their positioning is not that bad here, because they can go for the push. They can also come back to defend their base.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not in any harm's way. They're not in any real danger at this point. So I think they're just waiting for, you know, Efficiency to maybe commit to something a little bit more, just make a decision, and
which they won't.
Exactly. So I mean, but if they do, if once Team Efficiency make some sort of move, then that's when Insidious Gaming are going to respond and then make something happen themselves.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Unless the Efficiency just don't move at all.
See, I mean, that's the thing.
Which is another possibility.
Yeah, I was saying that Efficiency probably was not the best of draws for ISG, but if you take it the opposite way around, you know, ISG is probably the worst draw possible for Team Efficiency. because Team Efficiency likes to wait and play the reactive strategy, but one thing is certain is that IG can push, but they also don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. If they play against a very passive team and just, you know, they playing the patient game, they're not going to lose at that either.
Yeah, no, definitely. We never really see, I mean, of course sometimes we do, but it's very rare for us to see Insidious Gaming go for a push with just completely blind, without any real plan, just, you know, going in their guns blazing. Insidious Gaming are always the team to be very calculative, very, they like to take every little bit into account before they make any big moves. So that's what they're doing right now, is they're waiting for just more information, more time to pass for Efficiency to get maybe more comfortable, more set in to where if Insidious go for a push, it's not going to be, they're not going to run into something they're not expecting.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Slyfox and Grits peeking at each other.
Yeah. A very stalemate situation along the city edge and the inner city area right now.
We're down to 4 minutes, and well, I reckon that IG's still going to attempt to just at least put some pressure on the northern side.
Yeah.
I think they're going to just do it within like 3 minutes down.
Yeah, I think they're still going to wait like maybe a couple minutes more. And then once it gets down to, you know, about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes down.
Because they know that because of the tank selection, in case of a frontal engagement, they do have the advantage. Because they've got the heavier tanks. They're just really, I think, just waiting down the timer a wee bit more before starting just that push. Well, because one thing is clear, Efficiency is not going to that much, I'm certain of.
Rift's taking a shot there, down to about 1291. I'm not exactly who landed that shot there, but
it was Tanaka.
Yeah, it might have been Tanaka there, but Griff's maybe trying to peek his head out once again. If he takes a couple more shots, though, it's going to be very, very difficult for Insidious Gaming to go for a push.
I don't reckon he's going to take any more shots. I mean, you know, he just quite the contrary. I think, yeah, he's just if anybody's going to peek out, it's not going to be him anymore.
He tried to, though, maybe. He really wants to get some vision on the enemy side. Yeah, Insidious Gaming really trying to figure out what Efficiency are up to right now. And I like the Efficiency positioning, too, though, because they're really trapping Insidious Gaming.
Well, yeah, no, no, exactly, because if Insidious are going to push, it's only a northwestern concentrated one that's allowed. No flanking at this point is allowed from the city edge because of Efficiency's positioning, as you mentioned. So basically, both teams kind of refusing combat, which was kind of expected when I saw the quarterfinal like lineup. I was really expecting this match to be just drawn out and rather long as well. However, if we do replay on Runeberg, which we might at this point, I don't reckon both teams can actually do that any much longer without getting warnings here.
Yeah, no, if I were Insidious Gaming, I would just go out to the field if this does go to replay. Just engage the opponents on an even ground because of the difference of the tank types here. I mean, that single extra heavy tank on the Insidious Gaming side could potentially just win them that set single-handedly. If both teams trade shot for shot 100% equally, then eventually Insidious Gaming will come out on top of that. So, you know, if this does go to replay, I do have to recommend Insidious Gaming go for the eastern field area. However, you know, at the same time, there's a little less than 2 minutes now remaining here. And although I wanted to see Insidious Gaming go for a push, and I thought they would have, but it looks really like they're just gonna kind of sit back.
Well, I mean, you know what? The mid section of the city edge part, pretty much the smack the middle of the map, is way too well protected by the Efficiency players. So it doesn't allow true prompt push to the northern base, which basically is a no-go for any team.
Base capture starting now by the Efficiency members here. Pretty good timing though, but this guy's missing a shot. Taking a shot in return. He actually took a shot earlier. So right now, yeah, Insidious Gaming have to pull back a tank to defend this push here. And they also have Efficiency have their AMX-13 to defend that as well. So it's going to be a battle on the southern edge of the map, I think. Yeah, look at that.
Black 4 taking a couple of hits. Yeah, well, Hatsune Miku goes down, so that there you go. Well, it's just clearly not going to be enough anyways. We're going to have to replay this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, look at that. The second T1 going down as well. I mean, what can you possibly hope out of this? It's just, I don't know, maybe it was kind of a desperate maneuver, like, oh, you know what, we didn't again, don't give us a warning. Coming from Efficiency, which we have seen before.
Definitely so. So a little, about 30 seconds now remaining here.
Yeah, this is a replay.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a replay.
Yeah, and now, of course, at the last minute, you can see efficiency tanks going towards the inner city. I've seen them do that before. I mean, without no score nor sarcasm, like, you know, it's just... I've seen them on the chat later on arguing against a warning that had been issued against them, saying, but we move. Yeah, 20 seconds down, pretty much, to the time of it. Yeah, it's just
guys, there's some danger here.
He's not going to go down, no way. They're too far away from each other. Look at that, 2 seconds left. This is a replay. All right, so unless we see something different as we go back